You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Hey, you're listening to Adulting with Horses, the best place to be if you can't be at the barn. We are your co-hosts and equine authors, Heather Wallace and Natalie Keller-Reinert. As crazy horse girls, we don't take ourselves too seriously in the saddle or out. We celebrate the things that make us different. Join us as we talk about horses and pop culture and get a little weird in a fun way. Thank you for being a little weird with us.
Are we recording yet?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, this whole thing's
being
recorded.
Hi, team. So,
Patron's going to see this one.
Oh, I like this better. So, it's before noon, and I'm struggling with light because, creature of the dark, and that's why I'm whining. That's my story.
Well, you're always whining. I mean, that's kind of
whining.
Like on brand for you.
It's really funny. My mom would always be like, Natalie, stop whining. Natalie, stop whining. And I was like, I'm just talking. And now I get it. I'm a whiny person.
Well, I heard this thing that some people like to complain, right? Whine, complain, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this thing that literally shook me to the core because, I have so many opinions. And it was unsolicited advice is the same as criticism. And I said,
oh yeah,
what? I was so shook to my core because one, I grew up in a very critical household, so that's why I'm a perfectionist, I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's ever good enough in my opinion, but that's a me thing. But I realized when I'm trying to quote unquote help people, I was like, oh no, it's not help if they didn't ask. And so I'm really trying to sit back and say, do you want advice or do you want me to listen?
Yeah. And it's really hard because I think both of us are problem solvers by nature. And so we see something that somebody might not even think is an issue. And we've got 5 things that'll make that better. We're here for you. We've got your fix. And they're like, this was great already. And you're like, oh, that was done. I saw that happen to somebody on Facebook once. They posted something that was supposed to be a book cover and I wouldn't have published it, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's not my book. So that's fine. So, and somebody commented oh, that's going to be so good when it's done. And the person was like, well, it is done. And I'm really offended that you said that. I was a combination of helpful person and overly sensitive person just clashed right there.
Whoops. Well, I'm sorry if you're putting it out there hey, I need help with this cover, or make it very clear this is the cover reveal, but
I think if somebody assumes it's a draft, then you need to take a step back.
Maybe rethink that.
Yeah. What about this is giving unfinished?
Yeah. Well, listen, not every cup of tea is for everyone. I think we've learned that the hard way in a lot of...
No. But, it does make me think, we should be judges because...
we would be very good at judging people.
We're so up on criticizing. That's our whole deal. But we do it in a positive,
helpful
you could
way.
fix this way. And so, maybe I should be a dressage judge.
Well, we were talking, I think we give advice. I won't speak for you. I give advice because I want the other person to rise up. I want to help them be... awesome, right? And I've learned a lot of really hard lessons in my life.
Right.
So, yeah. I feel this is a topic idea maybe you didn't see it in the email, because I went to HITS recently, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, if she just had her leg right there, if just a smidge back, if she lifted that rein, and I'm sitting there going there's a reason I'm not the one in the saddle. However, I know the mechanics of it. I know that all that. I'm just not brave enough to ride a $125,000 horse in front of people who want to talk badly about me. But I can see what they could do to improve.
Well, it sounds like you could be a hunter judge.
It's I'm in the hunter world, so
I believe that I criticize for the same reason that you criticize. You criticize, we couch it differently, right? Because you want people to rise up, which is great. I also want people to rise up, but how I phrase it is I want them to not suck. And I believe those are the same things.
Tomato.
You have more of an aura of positivity, which I appreciate.
That is true.
But we're saying the same thing, which is like, just don't do this way. It'll suck. Lift the rein and get something that doesn't suck.
Yeah, like I really had to bite my tongue a lot, especially too knowing what I do, bodywork, saddle fit wise. Like, you know, I'm sitting there seeing things and I can't unsee it. And I'm like, don't say anything to you. Don't know these people. Don't say it. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if this were me, which let's be honest, it never would be me. Okay, because I wouldn't put myself in that situation. However, my daughter does want to go and do this, right? And so the biggest fights I have with my daughter is, Mom, stop helping. Right. So I'm somehow, and I'm just telling everybody out there who's getting a little bit pissed off. I get it. I do not want to be the horse show mom. Like, I keep that shit to myself. Okay. It's a personal narrative that goes through my head. I'm not like out loud telling people what they should do to be better. Okay. But I'm sitting there analyzing, kind of like, oh, I think if you do it this way, this might help that. And we really didn't have any outside shoulder. We almost went into the gate there. And maybe if we did this, you know, and so I'm sitting there and like, I find that fun. It's like the couch, the Armchair Olympics, right?
Yeah,
like
that's what everybody's doing with the Olympics, right?
That's right.
You know, they're sitting on their couch and they're drinking a beer and they're like, oh, baby girl, you flubbed that dismount, you know?
Or like, I would have done that in 5 strides, not 6.
Big time. Oh my God. When I really only watched the eventing dressage and the eventing cross country, I didn't watch a single ride of anything else. And there were some where I was like clucking at the TV and my husband's just sitting there just enjoying the cross country and I'm just going, oh, he's not gonna oh, if he'd gone left, why didn't you go left, you know?
Or if you really just legged him on right there, they wouldn't have refused, you know? Like,
I was like yeah. I was once I love this topic.
Me too.
This is a good topic. I was at HITS Ocala once several years ago and I was watching a pretty big Grand Prix. It was an invitational event. And I was sitting near some riders and they were literally riding the course from the hill where we were watching, just pushing their arms and just doing everything they could to be the person in the ring. It was so funny.
That's really amazing, actually.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. There were some Olympians there. It was a big day. I was covering it for Horse and Style magazine.
Well, it's funny. I find when I go to events like that, if I bring my camera, it creates like a distance. So I'm just observing.
Yeah.
But if I am there as a fan, if I am there to do body work, or if I'm there to do anything like that, I am straight up critical thinking. And it's a real problem. I got invited to go to Maryland 5-Star this year to work on some horses, which is awesome.
Oh
right?
my God. I'm so jealous of you.
Right. So I don't know if it's going to pan out. I work on this woman's dogs. She owns some horses in Aiken. Her son is going to be competing and she wants me to come work on her horse and several of their friends' horses.
Oh man.
And I'm like,
what an edge.
Yeah. I was like, if you can pull this off, I will come down and I will be at your disposal, right? Like we'll do a podcast meetup. We'll do whatever. Like I would love to get more into these upper level horse events without any reservations. Like I will be there. But then I'm behind the scenes, right? But the fun thing is like I'll go and then I'll watch those horses move and I say like, okay, I want to work on that later. Or I want, you know, so it's not necessarily coming from like a judgmental aspect, but the Olympics is kind of a funny thing because my daughter was like, I want to watch the show jumping. And I'm like, you know nothing about show jumping. You're a hunter, right? But her... No. This is what I'm thinking. But her horse is definitely more of a show jumper. And so I think she's kind of getting interested in it. So she's wanting to learn. And I refuse to watch it with her because I know I'm going to be annoying. Like, I know it.
I think you should. And just show her that it is more than go fast, turn hard, jumping. You know, because there's nothing scarier than a junior jumper class. Let's be real.
Well, I'll let her train. Her trainer is a show jumper. So like my friend Robin is like, she's a jumper. That's her vibe. So anytime Zoe has these questions, I'm like, ask your trainer, because I'm trying not to be the horse show mom too, you know.
Come on, horse show mom that's a gift. You get to do that. I didn't get to do that. Why don't you think about me and my kid that didn't ride?
I should live vicariously through you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should I should live for you. Yeah,
you should live for me. You should always be thinking about me first and my needs.
Clearly. I mean, clearly, like that is. I've been failing at that. I'm so sorry.
It's disgusting.
Don't hate me.
I don't know why I talked to you.
Well, you know, and I was talking to some of the kids, and I was just like, I would much rather be behind the scenes anyway, because then I don't have the anticipation, the nerves, anything. So, like, I don't want to go to the Olympics. I just want to groom, or like, I want to be the one taking photos, or you know, hell, doing body work on the horses. Like,
yeah, you can go a little farther than most, because generally a horse show mom, she does hair, she holds Gatorade, she occasionally holds a horse. She goes and gets tacos. Like, those are all things you're good at. I think you could probably do hair because you have a lot of it. So
I know, but I don't really do anything with it.
Well, you just got to get it under the helmet. By God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw this woman when we were at competition, and she had a Prada bag that she was walking around with at this horse show, and I was thinking to myself, like, I already know what kind of horses you got. Like. So she was so pristine and put together. I'm like, you are clearly not handling anything yourself.
That's why I liked writing in horse show parents in the latter half of the eventing series, when there starts being like kids and lessons and they go to events together, and I just was like, okay, these people love a party. They want any excuse to like have a get together. They're throwing parties at the barn. They're throwing parties at the competition. Jules is going out of her mind with like all of this good cheer when she's trying to compete. But when I started riding, I started at a fancy hunter barn in Central Florida. And that part of Florida is very much like, let's go outside, let's drink a ton of beers, let's have a good time. And I remember being at a horse show, and what the girl in the barn who had the fancy pony, her dad showed up, parked his BMW next to the horse trailer, and when handed the pony, tied the pony's reins to the handle of his car. The handle of his car did not last long. The pony was gone with the handle. It was so funny. You're not laughing, so it's clearly not that funny. No. But it's a memory that I cherish forever. Is that pony being like, bye, with the car handle of a BMW.
It was just making me think about, because, you know, this is it's such a neurodivergent thing, but it was just like, it just sparked a memory of one of the parents of our barn kids. Very nice man, but apparently always blitzed, like always wasted. Mm-hmm. So whenever he would show up, he would be like driving drunk to the barn, and like he's taken out the driveway, like the side of the driveway, like multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
So not just adorably drunk, but dangerously
drunk. And I'm like, what? Like, and I had no idea, because I guess he masked it really well, and maybe I'm just oblivious, you know, because I'm not paying attention to some kid's dad. Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if he should have been holding anyone's horses, you know, like.
He's got the reins. He's slapping the horse on the neck. You're a good boy, aren't you? Well, you deserve a drink.
Well, and now we're watching like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, both fans of the cannabis, right? In the Olympics. And the cute thing, now obviously he's not just there for the horses, but I'm noticing like I guess he's afraid of horses. So Martha
Stewart, I've read.
Yeah. So Martha Stewart, I mean, listen, how many horses do you see in Compton, right? Or Long Beach, or wherever he was from.
I was going to say, the Compton Cowboy is kind of a big deal, but...
Yeah, but this is back when he was going to school with, like, Cameron Diaz, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how long the Compton Cowboys have been around. I guess we should ask them. But, you know,
that would be interesting.
Oh, I would love that. But, so he's sitting there and cheering everybody on. So he's cheering the cheerleaders, or the gymnastics, and all the things. And apparently he's nervous around the horses, and so Martha Stewart came to fly out to hang out with him and show him how to be a horse guy. And that is just everything to me.
Well, I thought they were buds anyway. Buds is just
they are buds. Yeah, but I did.
My husband said they have a TV show. Is that correct? Like
is that what they're hyping? Maybe they're
like
hyping
a buddy
the TV show
because they're the cutest buddies ever. But Martha, she's got like 100 Frisians or something.
Yeah,
right?
she's really big into horses, and I think they bonded over their love of marijuana. And I think that's kind of like how they ended up becoming friends. But like that for me, I'm watching that more than I'm watching the actual Olympics.
I didn't watch any of it. I probably should. I was just really, really busy last week and every week. I was really busy, like my life.
Yeah.
And so it just
Life doesn't stop just because someone's competing for our country. I love it. But like,
well, I mean,
adulting.
Yeah, adulting. Oh my God. But plus, like, a hurricane, the whole thing. So there's always something. Yeah.
Didn't mean to traumatize you, but yes.
Yeah, double traumatization. It's great. No, but what I like about it, what's come out of it has been the memes, which are fantastic. Oh, yes. Because they were both wearing full show gear.
Yeah, dressage gear, right?
Yeah, although Snoop was wearing brown half chaps over like black trainers. But I have done that. So I actually identify more with him now because there was a period of time where I was wearing mismatched half chaps and boots. And I'm not doing that anymore. So nobody unsubscribe. But, sometimes financial situation needs must.
Well, I'm saying like Martha is like the prim and proper kind of version of the equestrian, and Snoop Dogg is like me. Like, it's just like, I'm just here for the good time. Like,
yeah,
like I'll wear whatever I want.
Her helmet was clearly nicer than his helmet, which I thought was really funny. He was wearing like an off the shelf, just like low end helmet, and she was wearing a really pretty one. So
yeah. Well, it's probably her gear that she like had shipped out there, and he was just like, "Someone give me a helmet," And
yeah, they're like, "Oh God, what's cheap at the tack shop?"
Well, I'll tell you, whoever's doing press, like U.S. Equestrian or whatever, whoever's doing the press for them is on point. I'm loving it. It's so fun.
I mean, he's a horse husband at this point.
He is. Has he replaced Glenn Hebert as America's horse husband?
I mean, if we're going for all America, all Americans, I do believe that Snoop would win the vote. It's no shade to America's former horse husband, Glenn Hebert.
But like Glenn can't crip walk. Like, how is he gonna like Snoop can lead a horse and crip walk at the same time. Like that is a skill.
Yeah. Well, Glenn's moving on to new things. He's a pioneer now with his property. I've lived out there, and I can speak to how much of a pioneer you have to be.
It's really roughing it, huh?
He's roughing it. So, we all just have our phases of life, and I think we have to accept our new horse husband.
Yeah, because maybe Glenn is also like retiring soon, and maybe Snoop is taking on the mantle.
Yeah. What a great example Glenn has set for him with Snoop would be great driving a hackney pony.
Oh my God. He would be so amazing. Can you imagine?
I would like to pair him also with Carson Kressley for that honor of just driving fancy horses around a ring in a tiny cart. That would be hilarious.
That would be, and Carson Kressley wrote a blurb for my new book that's coming out, and he knows Sid a little bit, so like maybe I can whisper into some ears and we can like make this happen.
That would be the greatest thing that ever happened. I wonder if they could do something like the National Horse Show where they could bring those two out to drive around.
What says America more than Carson Kressley and Snoop Dogg driving
Literally
some
nothing.
ponies?
That is brotherhood of mankind.
That is right.
What that is.
Yep.
That's peace on earth. I can't think of anything better.
Unifying our country.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, we're
with
bringing
horses.
them back together.
That's right. I love it.
Very fancy ponies. Okay.
I mean, listen, they're cute. They're all cute. They can all be little show ponies for us.
Yes. Everyone. Show pony for us. Oh my God. It's a great idea. And I think that what I like about them, I don't know about Carson because he's a horseman.
Right.
What I like about Snoop is that if he were my horse husband, he would know exactly how much I need him to know.
Right.
In other words, I would never be wrong, ever. And that's important to me. And it's something that I only get with the horses in my relationship.
Oh, yeah. Corey's so smart, so it's tough.
He's so goddamn smart. And he has really good instincts. And so I can't help but defer to him often. We're
Oh,
asking.
God, that's really frustrating.
It's not good for me. Or maybe it is good for me.
Well,
Because he's the only one. Because I am driven. You would not believe when I'm in my group chat with my mom and my sister. Anytime anybody says anything, my first instinct is to contradict them or to say they are wrong in some way.
so you could be
About
right.
anything. Yeah. Yeah,
The
even
sky
if
is
they're
blue.
right.
Actually, did you know?
That's exactly what I'm like. And so sometimes I just don't reply for days because I can't think of anything nice to say.
Because you're trying not to one and trying to prove them wrong.
There's nothing wrong with their conversation. Don't ruin it, ruiner.
And I feel like that portion of you was trained by Corey. Corey trained that to be like, you don't have to always respond.
Yeah, the good side, because I was definitely born contradictory, or as my nanny called me, ornery.
Honor. Well, I say, like, my daughter Ashlyn is like meant to be a lawyer because she will argue you till she's blue in the face, and she doesn't even know what the topic is.
I thought about that when I was a teenager. People were like, you can argue for a living and make a lot of money, and I did seriously consider it. And now I don't really like arguing anymore because it takes a lot of energy. So I would have had to retire early.
Well, and also too, arguing. I mean, right? Like, if you know you're right, you can just sit back and let other people be wrong.
And that's really hard. That's really hard. That's why I don't have Twitter anymore. That's the real reason.
That's not why you don't have Twitter. Is because it turned to X and it went to shit.
It wasn't just the Nazis. Other reasons, like my inability to not argue with someone. But I think, like, whenever I first wrote Ambition, and I've just revised all these books, so they're, like, really clear in my head right now, so that's why I'm just, like, dropping them constantly. But whenever I first wrote Ambition, my deal with Jules and meeting Pete was that even though there was an instant attraction between them, she was like, I am not dating a horseman, because he'll always think he knows better than me. And I formed that opinion when I was, like, 15. I was like, I am never going to go out with a guy who thinks he knows more about horses than me. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Jason is like, he forgot where the barn was. I don't know if I told you this story, but he went. No, so.
Oh my God. We would go to the wrong barn and be like, hello.
Yeah. I'm the opposite of a horse husband. I have the one who does not give a shit and doesn't want to hear about horses. Anything brought up about work or horses, he just blanks me out. And so, I have a daughter that rides and has this little pony. So she's like, Dad, I want you to come meet the pony. He went to 3 different barns. First of all, that I hadn't even been to in years. Like, I've been at this barn for 5 years, let's be honest. And I'm sitting there going, like, didn't you come for the IEA show last year? Like, where was your brain taking you? He just doesn't care enough. And so...
Oh my God.
So I have that, which... I mean, is clearly not healthy, right? That we have, like, such different lives that, like, he doesn't even know. But that's also how I can have 2 horses. He doesn't know are mine. So it's like, are we really losing here? Or
oh my God. No, you make such a good point. That whole thing, like, people are like, just get 3 bay horses and say you have 2.
Because he doesn't know how leases work. He doesn't know how rescue and rehab or any of that works. So, like, I feel like Snoop Dogg might show an interest, but then he'd just go sit in the corner and smoke a doobie. And then it would be the best of both worlds. Like, he might not remember what you talked about, but he tried. Like he showed interest.
I think that is 99% of what we're asking for. Is just show up, say, good job, honey, and
take
then
some
take
videos.
out for ice cream.
Maybe take some videos. To
some videos.
You need someone to do that. I don't have anyone to, like, everyone's always like, you're behind the camera. I'm like, yeah, bitch, because I got no one to take videos of me.
That is a huge problem for me. Corey, I love my husband. He's bad at taking photos and videos. Like, bad. Like, how can you be so bad? He just is. Yeah.
No, it's really bad. And especially, too, for me, I find, I'll use an example. So, I have a history of photography. I wouldn't say I'm, like, amazingly the best or whatever, but I have an eye.
I think you got shipped overseas to take photos,
I mean, yeah, but
I think I've heard this story.
I still feel like an imposter sometimes. So, like, I'm not telling about Mongolia, boom, but I'm saying, so we were this weekend at a work event, and someone tried to take a picture of me and my colleague with one of the animals. And my vet tech, who admins for us on her days off, literally bumped her out of the way with a hip and was like, move over, son, I got this. Because it was clearly not going to be good. And I would give my phone to a Gen X or a younger millennial in a second because they were born with a cell phone in their hands. So, like, they know. They know. Mm-hmm. But our Gen X vibes, they don't translate to technology very well.
No. You could tell by when they lift the phone and they squint a little. You're like, oh, no. Bad angle. Don't do this to my chin. Come on.
Or my favorite, when Jason takes a picture from below. It's like, no, honey, you take a picture from above or straight on, like, or like an angle. Never from below, because that's when you see the rolls, the double chins. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just really, but I feel like Snoop would get it. Like, Snoop would be like, hanging off with the phone on the side a little bit, very relaxed, and he'd somehow just make it work really well.
I think he would get some candids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he'd be like, you were just chilling with your horse. We're like, oh, I was just chilling with my horse. Thank you for noticing.
And you were watching and paying attention. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And, it's
not
a
looking
shame.
At scores.
It's a shame that nobody has their own personal Snoop Dogg. Like, why do the Olympics get him? Like, it's not fair.
Well, I mean, they only need him every couple years. The rest of the time, he should be traveling the country, being our supportive horse husband.
I agree. We need to offer him some kind of benefit package, like, like you graze our horses, we give you weed, like, we'll take pictures of you, tell you you're handsome.
It in Florida, so he can come here. Like, it's on.
It's
on the
legal in New
November
Jersey.
ballot. I know it's legal everywhere I go, except here where I live.
No, but I think he would be the perfect horse husband.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I don't mind that he's a little nervous because I don't need my horse husband coming in and trying to ride all the time and then taking my quality time. Like, it's good that you're a little nervous. You stay over there, you look pretty, cheer me on, and then go about your day.
Would you put your horse husband, Snoop, onto a dead, quiet 30-year-old horse and go for a trail ride?
I would.
Or is that too much horse time for him?
No, I would do that if he were comfortable. But if he were just going to be super scared the whole way, he would make me scared. And then we would both be scared. And it would be terrible.
Yeah, I would. I would for sure.
I'd give him that shot. You know?
I'd like a trail buddy. I live near a lot of trails. I don't go on them.
I don't like going out by myself if I have to trailer to it. Because then my horse is too far from home if they were to get away from me. You know what I mean? So, like, I only will go with a buddy who's on another horse that can chase after my horse.
Definitely.
Because the horses are also not leaving the other horses. Like, even if they spook and run off, they're going to come back to the other horses.
Yeah. Ben's a runner. I think I've said that before. Yeah. It's pretty astonishing. When if he is genuinely scared, he just vanishes into the forest. You're like, oh, how's that going to help?
Like an okapi.
Where are you going? So he definitely needs a magnet to draw him back, or he'll end up in Georgia.
Yeah, I feel like I would definitely, if I had a significant other who was willing to just get on like a packer or babysitter horse with me, one, I would have another horse.
Hello.
Two, great excuse, right?
I would be trail riding that horse also.
And I would be going out with them and we'd be spending quality time doing something I love, and then we could switch and do quality time doing something they love. Because it's all fair. As long as it's not anything too aggressive, like jumping out of an airplane. Like, that would be too much.
I'm going to have to draw a line at doing something that they enjoy.
They like?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
What does Corey like?
I don't know.
He's such a liar. He likes to cook. He likes to clean. Definitely avoid those.
He loves putzing with stuff. Like man with a lawn kind of putzing and like fixing things.
He does. And
that was one reason why when we lived in an apartment, I was like, I think this man needs a farm because he needs to be able to go out and futz with stuff. And so he's really good at futzing.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't need two people futzing because then one just gets in the way.
Yeah. Or I never do it right. Like if I'm helping, maybe he's like coming up and working where I was just working.
He's fixing it.
Oh yeah. But I know that it's not personal. It's because he's particular, and we're all neurodivergent in our ways.
Sure.
And he's definitely got a streak of like, I need it to be just like, but he can't really express that. And if he does express it, I don't understand him because our spatial awareness is really different, which is an interesting thing that I think came up with directions that we absorb and experience direction in a very different way. And so I just try not to discuss, like, if he doesn't like something, I just let him. I don't even try to understand what he wanted.
But that's how you have a happy marriage, is because you realize there are lines and he just needs to do this on his own, and that's his happy place.
Exactly.
Right? Where, like, if you only wanted the horses to yourself and didn't want to share Snoop Dogg style, whatever, then, like, as long as they're a good horse husband, they would respect that.
Yeah.
Right?
Horse husbands respect that the wife is in charge. That's important.
When it comes to horses.
Yeah, when it comes to horses, we are superior in all ways and things. And it has to stay that way. And they can't get really interested and get better than you. No.
Just let me know everything and you know nothing. And then we'll be happy. And then we can go home and you can tell me all about how you're a master of putting together a gazebo. Yeah. Okay. Where, that's your thing. I'm not trying to promise that I'm going to learn how to be a carpenter. Okay. No. But I will watch you. I will cheer you on. I will bring you lemonade. Mm-hmm. Right. Look
at that good gazebo. I want to hear you did such a good job. And then I will repeat that back. You did such a good job.
Absolutely.
Supportive people, happy lives. That's all.
I think that sounds like an actual dream.
Yeah,
that sounds
and it's
like
the
a beautiful dream.
Of, like the people that we discussed before, that are critical and should be professional judges who judge people.
But there can only be one judge in the relationship. Okay.
Exactly. That should be a litmus test for anybody who's looking at the viability of a long-term relationship, any type. Are you both judgers?
Right.
And do you have the same, if you are both judgers, because Corey and I are in certain ways as well, and we have to have the same criteria for the people we are quietly judging. Because that's conversation. That's what keeps the marriage going.
Well, there's nothing better than people watching and just giving a side eye and having the other person know exactly what you're talking about. Like, that is a level of trust and commitment that is really what romance books are made of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or certainly like the part after the end.
Right.
The whole rest of the relationship, the next 50 years after the end. You better have some mutual understanding of who you're judging while you're sitting at an airport bar.
Exactly. Well, that makes me happy. Yeah, but it's funny because when it comes to anything outside horses, like, I don't really want to be in charge. Like, I don't really want to be in charge. Like, I've been in charge my whole life. I was the oldest daughter. I'm the mother of 3. Like, I feel like everything rests on my shoulders. Like, I just want a vacation. Mm-hmm. But within horses, it's like, no, I'm happy where I'm at. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And since he can't find you, I mean, it's really, there's no contest there.
There is, I can disappear.
You might as well be in another world.
Yeah, it's like
it's like to Narnia to ride your
alternate dimension. I went through the Lionsgate portal. I'm not coming back. Okay, not until 5 p.m. dinner.
Oh my god!
But yeah, no, it really be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, I think even if I were to make it to the Olympics, like, I don't think he. Like, I think he would come, but he would sit in the stands. Like, he wouldn't be, like, cheering me on from, like, the barn or, like, it's
or
just
down
funny.
at the chute, like by the end gate where the grooms are, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too funny, and I like him kind of like a little bit off to the side. Personal space.
I'd be like, I need you right now. I need you. Yeah, we would probably have like our first major fights if I were at a really big show, because I would be all tense and freaking out. He'd be like, now just be calm. And I'd be like, no, just be calm. And he's like, I am being calm. And then that would just turn into...
It would make you even more mad.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's a good thing when you know your partner and like what you're willing to do. And it just seems like, I don't know, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, obviously I know that they're not married. And I know he's married. But they're a cute little couple because they're opposites in a lot of ways. But then they have these little things in common that they love about each other. So it's like so cute.
Wait, what if they're us?
Oh my God. I'm Snoop. Okay. I'm just saying, like, you're the proper British kind of, stoic, All right, but still fun. You're still fun.
I'm still fun.
Right?
You just wouldn't know it to talk to me.
But because you're kind of dry and you have that sense of humor, but then you get to know you and you're like, oh, she's actually pretty awesome. But I'm like so in your face, like Snoop Dogg. Like I just don't take anything too seriously. And I'm just like, whatever, you know? And the only thing I don't have in common with him is the fact that like he's very tall and thin. It's like, I'm like the bizarro version of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I'm okay at crafts. I'm an indifferent house cleaner, and but if you give me a Lysol wipe, I'll clean anything. She's but I mean, she made her sort of career. I mean, but you can make your career lying. That doesn't mean anything, does it?
And wasn't she mostly like a chef and decorator? Kind of like, wasn't that more of her vibe? And you love to be able to judge people, and that's what she does. Mm-hmm. She shows off and judges people who are less than her.
Yeah,
it's a niche.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm really seeing it now. This is a mirror image of our lives, and that's why that one meme with the two of them on the golf cart, that's like, you know, going off with my show BFF to get tacos and margaritas after crashing the 2-6 course. Yep, that's why that really is us.
It really is, and I love it. He's like all in his Wenglish outfit. I saw that and I was like, yeah, okay.
It's staring me in the face now.
So I don't know if anybody else sees it, but maybe now you will.
Yeah. Don't Photoshop anything. It'll be weird. But yeah.
Yeah, no, my head would not fit on his body. It would be awkward. It would be super awkward. But I just want to the opposites attract thing. You know, there you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. And I am a little bit more timid like Snoop Dogg when it comes to horses. So look at that.
That is true. Because probably anybody could have handed Martha the reins and said, do you want to hop on? And she would have been like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And I'm 100% that way. Yeah. Get on your horse.
I wonder if we should send this episode to their publicist. Be like, who the fuck are these people?
Excuse me, we are very famous horse people. That's a thing. You can be a famous horse person.
I know you played at Super Bowl, but like we go to Equine Affair, motherfucker. So
yeah, and when we have a get together, upwards of 12 people will come.
I mean, not trying to blow out the building, but I'm just saying.
I think people should tell us also if they want us to have a get together at Equine Affair 2024. The one in Massachusetts, because like that's coming up. So if you're listening to this episode when it's new, which is in August, then we need to make plans. So I think people should go to the Facebook group and they should be like, yes, bitches, have a party. Or they should be like, we'll just come see you one-on-one at the bookstore because we are afraid of crowds. And both of those would be acceptable answers.
Yes. And so it's the Adulting with Horses Facebook Clubhouse.
Right.
If you're not a member, be a member. It's totally free and it's fun. We share a lot of memes. Snoop Dogg did appear. And if we need to rent a space so we can do a meetup, that's something we need to know, like stat. Mm-hmm. So we need to gauge everyone's interest for sure. And you actually need to show up because it's going to cost money.
Oh my God. If I were the hostess of a party, I believe like Martha Stewart would say hostess, and nobody came, what would that do to my self-esteem, people? Think about Natalie. I don't do I've never thrown a party in my entire life. Let's all just think about that.
You don't even really like to attend parties.
I don't go to parties. I don't speak.
It's a really big deal.
Well, what happens is the only way I'm comfortable talking to people is if I stand in a place and people come to me and speak to me, or if I am introduced to people and I can then speak to them. I cannot walk up to you, and I will not. So just
and it's not personal. It's just like introverted nature, awkward socialness. Mm-hmm. That's not real words, but you know what I mean.
It's awkward socialness. I can't walk up to you. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
So
I get like
you have to be okay with that. But you can walk up to me and I'll wear a little sign around my neck that says Natalie. I'll like hang it around my neck. It says Natalie. Talk to me. And then you can.
Be like, great. I promise I'm nice. Like a little sticker on your back that says like, I'm nice, I promise.
Yeah. I feel like I've done something like that before, honestly.
Have you really?
Maybe in like high school or something.
Oh my God.
That was when I embraced my weird side.
I am sad and yet impressed by that story.
I had a really weird. I was only in high school for 2 years, and I fit a lot of weird experiences into those 2 years. Like a lot. It was very enlightening.
Yeah. Is this when you were in a cult?
Yeah. But on the way, it's sort of like on the way out, like half in a cult. And there were some nice people there that were also in the same cult as me. And so we had that in common, which was nice. So I thought we should be really close friends, but we were like just sort of friends. So that was when I was like, maybe cults aren't the answer. Yeah, but we could have been more. I just felt like the cult wasn't doing me its full range of services if I couldn't even be like best friends with these people. You know what I mean?
I know. What's the point of being in a cult if you can't hang out with them?
Yeah, it should be guaranteed besties.
Right. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, it should take care of that work for you.
Yeah.
So I was really let down, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And now we've created our own little cult of the Clubhouse members.
Yeah, and we're instant besties there. We're doing
Total
the work.
besties. We meet in person like we've been best friends our whole lives. And it's not a cult in the sense that like you have to join or like be there, but like we'll judge you if you don't, you know.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like the cool kids club.
It's a cult where you just get to judge people and talk about ponies. Okay.
And share memes of really hot farriers sweating with really, really great horses.
Yeah. Yeah. The hot farrier thing, it seems like a bit of a fairy tale, but I'll accept it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's nice eye candy, but you know that man is broken inside, mentally and physically, because every farrier I've ever met is basically held together by hay bale string. You know? You know what I mean? Like,
this man is baler twine and I'm a profit.
that's right. It's like, you look real pretty, sir, but at the end of the day, you're sitting in your Epsom salts groaning, okay?
Oh.
That is not attractive. However, there is that one guy in Turkey that I found and shared. He is very, very handsome, sexy rider, and he rides these like Arabs, and he knows what he's doing. Okay, not only is the cinematography gorgeous, but he can ride. Okay, so like that is more of a fantasy to me, because
you wouldn't want to be married to that.
I wouldn't want to be married to. First of all, I would always feel like he was going to cheat on me, and second of all, if you can ride a horse like that, you're gonna think I'm like a total pussy. Okay,
right?
So like, you know,
he's gonna pat you on the head. You're sitting there on your pony. You got your feet out of your stirrups. Except maybe you don't, because maybe your horse might spook.
Right.
Even though he's
It's
asleep.
an Arab.
Yeah. So you're like, you've got your feet way in the stirrups, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna hold on the reins real tight.
And he's like, I'm gonna go gallop bareback, and I'm just like, okay, I can't be less hot than you. Okay,
Yeah, totally.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
No, so it's a fantasy, but the reality would be absolutely disappointing.
Deflating,
sorry.
even.
You know, that's where you know, what is that? Like, screw, marry, kill. That's where you screw that guy, like, a lot of times.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you put him...
A lot of times.
You just, you know, no emotions, no relationships. Like, you just get yours, girl. But you marry the Snoop Dogg, okay? You marry Snoop Dogg.
I think you're right. Who do we kill?
Oh, God, that's such a great... who do we kill? We have to kill somebody. We have to.
Oh, God, I don't...
We can't kill the farrier. We need him for our horses.
Well, I mean, I have a farrier. I mean, maybe we'd be putting him out of his misery. Be a mercy killing. I'm okay with a mercy killing. I'm okay with... I don't
He's
want to...
practically dead anyway.
All right, it's agreed. Sorry, farrier. You're going to a better place.
We might need to take a vote on this in the clubhouse and see, like, you know, what they would, if they would match. But
okay, perfect. So Snoop Dogg, Turkish Arab horse rider, and the farrier.
Yes, that's who we'd marry, screw, and kill.
Yes,
that's it. Okay, so it's decided, and we'll post like little pictures of both.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. I'll have fun going through his Instagram anyway.
Yeah, hard work if you can get it.
One day he'll respond to my comments. You guys, if I take a trip to Turkey, y'all know why. Okay, y'all know why.
I was gonna go for the food, but
no.
Yeah.
You stay for the food. You go for something else. Okay. So adulting wins. Let's do it. What do you think? What's your vibe?
Oh my God.
You made it through another hurricane.
I made it through another hurricane. My electricity went out for 40 hours. I came back home I was in the middle of a marketing meeting. I was wearing a sweater. Halfway through the marketing meeting, I shrugged off my sweater.
Were you wearing a bra?
I was wearing a bra and a shirt and a sweater.
Okay.
So it's not like right now where I'm only wearing a shirt. So but I shrugged off my sweater because I was like, feeling kind of warm in my sweater. And then as the meeting goes on, it was a long meeting. Like the entire publishing house was there. And I didn't even know they had an audiobook marketing team. Who knew? I see my husband get up and walk over to the, like one of the registers, like the AC, the vent, and he holds up a thermometer. And I went, oh no, he's seeing if that's blowing out warm air.
Was it?
And
I guess it was.
In fact, our air conditioning got overloaded. And it was off all afternoon until a neighbor who works for the air conditioning company came over and fixed it for us.
Oh, that's nice.
Our AC went out immediately after coming back from the hurricane, knocking out our power for 40 hours. I adulted so hard this week, y'all. Taking Zoom meetings in a hotel lobby. And I did get a hotel writing sesh out of it, which was awesome.
I'm telling you, it's like the only way to finish something if you're stuck.
I know, it's just my intent had been to do that like next month by myself and not because we were evacuating because we had lost power in a hurricane.
Best laid plans.
But we made it through, and maybe this will be our storm for the season. Fingers crossed. There's lots more coastline out there, hurricanes. You don't have to hit here again, the exact same place you hit 11 months ago. Not necessary.
And you're inland. It's so annoying.
Oh my God. Yeah. Tell me about it. And then wind, of course, is that it doesn't flood here because I'm on a big hill. What? So, yeah. Some pretty significant wins, I would say, in surviving.
And your animals are okay, and it was
thriving.
just some minor tree damage.
Yes. Branches down. My horses, Ben is a survivor. Ben knows what to do. And Manny follows Ben. So Ben rode out the storm, the worst of the storm, in a clearing where the only tree that was over them was a live oak that's very young and sturdy. So he knew that tree was safe. And even though he was standing in a low area, so in the morning they were standing in water, I think that he was like, no, this is the safe place. And so then I went out and I loaded them up on roughage pellets, just like I knew they didn't graze all night. So I loaded them up so they'd warm up, and then it stopped raining and they dried off and they were perfectly happy. So
that's awesome.
Everybody was fine. Next year, I'll be building them a more permanent space where they'll be allowed to go in and out and not have trees overhead so that they can choose their own safe place. If they want to be dry, they can go in. But they managed. We all managed. We all survived. And I only had to throw away all my condiments, a couple veggie burgers, and some ice cream. So it could have been way worse.
Oh, the ice cream.
And my fridge is clean now. And my freezer got defrosted.
That's always the bonus when you have that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like a forced clean out. And then you wipe down all the shelves and everything like that.
Yep,
I mean,
I Lysol wiped the whole fridge.
You are
really
such
clean.
an adult. I'm so proud of you.
I'll clean anything if I have a Lysol wipe, but I won't touch anything else. That's just a fun fact about me.
Oh, see, I can't use cleaning products unless I wear gloves because my hands, the eczema on my hands is so bad. But, but that's my excuse to have a housekeeper. I'm going to enjoy her while she lasts.
Hell yeah.
Well,
all right, what's your adulting win?
So my adulting win this week, I'm making some great progress. I'm finishing book 3, Welcome to Woodhaven. Yeah. So that's hopefully going to the editor on time because, I'm doubling down on it and it's going really, really, really well. Like in the second book, I had a little bit of a couple of spots where I got a little blocked, and this one does not seem to be like that at all. So I'm really happy to finish their story. And then I got some great news. So Trafalgar Square Books released Beyond Expectations. So the official date is September 3rd, but on their website, it is now available for purchase and they're shipping them out. So you can actually get them early before they're on Amazon, before they're on any other marketplaces, Barnes & Noble, etc. That's September 3rd, but you can get them on Trafalgar Square Books now. And I'm so excited. This has been a work in progress for over 2 years. And it was, like I said, my biggest challenge to date. And I'm so proud of it.
You gave voice to somebody who really needed to get their story told. And that was a huge ask. I have no idea how you did it.
It was, I don't know how I did it. But apparently I did it really well because a couple of the people who read the book and gave us blurbs or, were advanced readers have all said that they couldn't put the story down. And that for me as the author is like the biggest compliment you could give me, is that you needed to know what happened next. And so I know for Sid, she really wants to get the word out there about being a Paralympian, what she's dealt with in life and everything like that. So this is a vehicle for her to do that. And I feel like I'm making a difference in her life doing that. So I'm so excited. I can't wait.
That is just so thrilling. I can't wait because it's going to be in like tack shops everywhere because everyone carries Trafalgar Square. And I'm sure some bookstores will pick it up as well because Trafalgar Square distributes to all the major bookstores. So it's going to be like out there.
Oh, it's out there.
And that you put together.
Yeah, we're talking about doing a press run. And Sid is going out to HITS, to the Festival of Champions in Illinois. And she's going to be signing books there this August. And,
awesome.
Then we'll be at Equine Affair and we're going to do book signing together. And I mean, obviously this is Sid's story, but she's been really cool about wanting me to do, a lot of the stuff with her because this isn't bragging, but like she wouldn't have gotten her story out without my help. And so we were a true team and she really made me feel like her teammate in this. And so it's just, I'm blown away. I'm so excited for it to be out. Yay!
Incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really great. They sent me a surprise box of copies yesterday. So that I came home to that.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It came out really nice. So yes. So that's my adulting win of the week.
I feel like we're strong adulting win contenders right now. Like we're killing it.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. Yeah. We're tired, but we're doing it.
I think that's just adulting. I might need a nap later, but that's okay.
I fell asleep yesterday while the air conditioning was out. That's how tired I was.
Wow.
I was flopped on the bed and I just closed my eyes and just went to sleep. I'm just exhausted. But
yeah. I've been doing that a lot this summer where like if I have a day off, I spend a lot of time writing or doing errands and then I come home at like 1:00 and I'm asleep till 4. Oh yeah. Like I don't have a lot in me, guys. Like I'm definitely burning the candle at both ends, but that's okay because this is. Oh, and I don't know. Oh, did I tell you this last week? I can't remember. Did I tell you that I got into college?
You told me. Yes.
I don't know if I told anybody else.
I don't think you told anybody else. I don't think we were recording when you told me.
Oh my God.
This is one of our famous post-recording conversations, which can go on for like another hour.
I know. One of these days we'll actually record. So I'm always trying to improve for the body work and learn more. And the saddle fit has been huge for that. And so I decided what's better than being just a body worker? What's the best I could be? And that would be like an equine osteopath, in my opinion. And so I applied to college and I got in.
Of course you did, because you're a genius. You're a beautiful genius.
And it's a little scary because it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of hours and a lot of time. It's going to take me several years. But I'm so damn excited. So,
oh my God.
I know. I'm excited.
So cool.
I know. I'm so excited.
And then you'll be an osteopath.
Yeah.
A word that means something.
So an osteopath basically is someone who can manipulate, they work on the entire body, focusing on the soft tissue, but they can adjust organs. They can adjust vertebrae and everything from like the muscle side of things. And so basically you're working on the whole body. And I'm not going for my doctorate, but I would be licensed and certified globally. So I'd be able to go to the UK and work on horses there. I'd be able to work in Europe. I'd be able to work in Africa and Australia. And so it just is teaching me more about the body, the anatomy, and more techniques that, not everybody could do because, there's of course an inherent risk. So it would be kind of like a chiropractor, but for the soft tissue.
All right. Education.
Yeah. That's kind of a long explanation. But
it's really, really cool. That's very exciting. And I'm super proud of you. Look at you with all your big new accomplishments. Hope I don't get jealous.
Please, you've got plenty of stuff going on. But we have, I know, and so part of that is like, I have to balance that. So I got to somehow work in enough time to be able to work on my next book, still work every day, handle the kids, and now go to school. So it's like, I love chaos. I think it's the ADHD in me. Like the more I have, the better balanced I like, the better I can do things.
You can't have free time. That's bad for you.
No. If I have free time, I become a couch potato.
Yeah, or you start dreaming up new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
While you're on the couch. And then all of a sudden you've published like 4 new workbooks and started a new YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, in COVID, I started the bookstore for horse lovers.
Right. And that's exactly what I was going to say is then you have to keep up with the things you have started. And that's the problem. I know that now. You know that now.
Right. And it's funny, too. And it's the best kind of pressure for the books, though, because I have people being like, when's the next one out? When's the next one out? And I'm like, I'm trying, like I'm getting it out. But at the same time, it's like, I like the pressure because if I don't have a deadline, I kind of just like, I could do it tomorrow.
Right.
So this will be good. What was that?
That was Glasgow.
He said, bitch, get off the phone.
All right, guys, Glasgow needs me. I have to go.